Hi Senior Stage, Gail here. I'm going to go through the simultaneous equations by substitution, exercise 5 asterisk. Okay, you're used to this drill by now. So in question 1, the first thing you've got to do is give your equations numbers. So we've just been calling the top one equation 1 and the bottom one equation 2. So things have been mixed up a bit. In the previous exercise, every time you could substitute 1 into 2. And you can always do that. If you make sensible choices, your sum is often much shorter and much smoother. So if I have a look at equation 2, I have already got x by itself. And so I am going to substitute this value here in that equation over there. So I'm going to substitute 2 in 1. And then just a reminder, why do we write out what we are doing? Well, this work can be confusing for anyone to read. And so you are telling whoever's reading your work what you are doing. So we write down equation 1, 3x plus 4y is equal to 11. And in place of x here, we are going to substitute 15 minus 7y. So it's 3, and then remember your bracket, minus 7y, so that you land up multiplying both of those by 3, plus 4y is equal to 11. That gives me on the left 45 minus 21y plus 4y is equal to 11. So adding like terms on the left, I have 45 minus 17y is equal to 11. Then I need to isolate the 17y by itself, so I'm going to subtract 45 from both sides. On the left, 45 minus 45 is 0, so I have minus 17y. And on the right, I must subtract 45. 11 minus 45 is negative 34. Now I divide by negative 17 on both sides, and I get the answer y is equal to negative divided by negative positive 2. Now, once again, I'm going to substitute 4y in equation 2. The reason why I choose equation 2 is because it tells me x is equal to, and I'm trying to find x. So write down that equation 2, x is equal to 15 minus 7y, and I know that y is equal to 2, so I'm going to put a 2 in place of y. I get x is equal to 15 minus 7 times by 2, which is x is equal to 15 minus 14, x is equal to 1. And for this exercise, we're going to skip out the checks. Number 2, 3x plus 2y equal to 7 is equation 1, and x equal to 3 minus y is equation 2. This is the same as number 1, where equation 2 has got x equal to, and so it's going to be easier for me to put the 3 minus y in the place of x. Let's just show you that. 3 minus y is going to go there. So I'm substituting equation 2 into equation 1. Write down 1. 3x plus 2y is equal to 7. Then do the substitution. It's 3 times by x plus 2y is equal to 7. 9 minus 3y plus 2y is equal to 7. Add my like terms. I have 9, and then minus 3y plus 2y is minus 1y is equal to 7. I want to isolate the y term, and so I am going to subtract 9 from both sides. So on the left, I will have negative y, because 9 minus 9 is 0, and 7 minus 9 is negative 2. I don't want negative y, I want y. So I'm going to divide both sides by negative 1, and then I get y is equal to a negative divided by a negative, positive 2. To find x, I'm going to choose equation 2 to substitute in, for the same reason as before. That gives me x. So substitute into equation 2. Write down what equation 2 is. And then y is equal to 2, and so I will substitute a 2 over there. X is equal to 3 minus 2. X is equal to 1. So now I've solved this equation. Y is equal to 2 and x is equal to 1. Okay, you're being kept on your toes here. Can't get into any sort of automatic pilot mode here. Equation 1, x is equal to 7 minus 3y. Equation 2, 2x minus 2y is equal to 6. It's equation 1 this time that has got the x in the x equal to. So I'm going to substitute the 7 minus 3y in the place of x there, which means that I am substituting equation 1 into equation 2. So let's write down 2 so I can see what I'm doing. So it's 2, and I'm substituting x with 7 minus 3y in brackets. Minus 2y is equal to 6. Use the distributive property. 2 times 7 is 14. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6y. Minus 2y is equal to 6. Now I need to add the like terms on the left. It's 14 minus 8y. So to isolate the y term over here, I'm going to subtract 14 from both sides. On the left, I'll have 14 minus 14 is 0, so it's minus 8y is equal to 6 minus 14, which is minus 8. Divide both sides by negative 8, and negative 8 divided by negative 8 is 1. Y is equal to negative 8 divided by negative 8, which is 1. I need to find x, and to do this I'm going back to my equation 1, which is very simple to use. And so I must tell everyone what I'm doing. I'm going to substitute in equation 1. There's equation 1. And what am I going to substitute? I'm going to substitute 1 in the place of y. X is equal to 7 minus 3 times 1, and I get x is equal to 7 minus 3, x is equal to 4. Number 4 is similar to number 3, where equation 1 is the equation that has got x as the subject of the formula, and so I am going to substitute equation 1 into equation 2. Let's write down 2. So x is equal to 10 minus 7y. So over here I'm going to put 10 minus 7y, remembering my bracket. 3 multiplied by 10 minus 7y, because it was 3 multiplied by x, minus 4y is equal to 5. Use the distributive property. 3 times 10 is 30. 3 times negative 7 is negative 21. Y minus 4y is equal to 5. Now I need to add my like terms on the left. I have 30, then minus 21y minus 4y is minus 25y is equal to 5. To isolate the y term, I am going to have to subtract 30 on both sides. So 30 minus 30 is 0, so I'm left with minus 25y here, and 5 minus 30 is negative 25. Divide by negative 25 on both sides, and negative 25 divided by negative 25 is 1. Y is equal to 1. Now I need to find x, and to do that I'm going to substitute in 1. It does work if you substitute in 2. Substituting in 1 is just easier. X is equal to 10 minus 7y. What am I going to substitute? Y is equal to 1, and so I'm going to put a 1 in the place of y. X is equal to 10 minus 7 times 1. X is equal to 10 minus 7, so x is equal to 3. In number 5, I'm going to number my equations. Equation 1 this time is where this y is the subject of the formula, so I'm going to do the substitution 1 into 2. I'm going to write down 2 and just check what my substitution will be. Y is 5 minus 2x, and so in the place of y I'm going to put 5 minus 2x, remembering the bracket. On the left it's 3x minus 2, and then y is 5 minus 2x is equal to 4. I need to distribute my 2 into the bracket. 3x, or it's a negative 2, so I'm going to have negative 10, and negative times negative positive 4x is equal to 4. So 3x plus 4x is 7x, minus 10 is equal to 4. And then to isolate this term, I add 10 on both sides. On the left, I'll have 7x minus 10 plus 10 is 0, so I'll just be left with 7x is equal to 4 plus 10, which is 14, because I was adding 10 to both sides. I divide by 7 on both sides. 7 divided by 7 is 1x, and 14 divided by 7 is 2. Then to find y, I'm going to substitute in equation 1, so sub in 1, so write down 1, so you can do the substitution. Check what you're substituting. X is 2, so I'm going to put 2 in the place of x. On the left I have y is equal to 5 minus 2 times 2, so it's y is equal to 5 minus 4, y is equal to 1. Number 6, I have equation 1 and equation 2. So look carefully at your equations before you decide what to do. Y is the subject of the formula in equation 2. So I'm going to put equation 2 into equation 1. I write down 1. So I can see how the substitution works. In the place of y, I'm going to substitute 13 minus x. So on the left, I have 5x minus 4, and in the place of y, I have 13 minus 2x, and the brackets are there so that I multiplied both of those terms by 4, and is equal to 13. On the left, I have 5x, and then I've got to distribute the 4 into the bracket, the negative 4. So it's going to be negative 4 times 13 is 52, and negative 4 times by negative 2 is positive 8x is equal to 13. Adding my like terms, 5x plus 8x is 13x, minus 52 is equal to 13. I need to add 52 on the left to be able to isolate my x term, and then I must add 52 on the right. So I have 13x minus 52x plus 52 is 13x is equal to 65. 13 plus 52. Divide by 13 on both sides. And 13 divided by 13 is 1x is equal to 65 divided by 13 is 5. To find y, I'm going to substitute in equation 2, the one where y is the subject. So I'm going to substitute in 2. Write down 2, y is equal to 13 minus 2x. So let's check what we are substituting here. We know x is equal to 5, so we're going to substitute that x with 5. That gives us y is equal to 13 minus 2 times by 5. So y is equal to 13 minus 10. Y is equal to 3. Okay, in number 7, things are getting even a little bit more tricky. If you have a look at your 2 equations, and let's label them before we start. In equation 1, x isn't the subject of the formula, nor is y. The same thing happens in 2. Now I've got to make a decision. Where am I going to make x or y the subject of my formula? If I look at this, I can see that that over here it is y with a coefficient of 1. So this one is going to be the easiest. If I choose any of these others, I'm going to have to divide by those coefficients. So the first thing that I do is I tell everybody what I'm doing, and I say from equation 2. So it means I'm going to adjust equation 2. Equation 2 is 4x plus y is equal to 2. What is my aim here? My aim is to make y the subject of the formula. So I'm going to subtract 4x on both sides. On the left I have 4x, subtract 4x is 0, which just leaves me with y. And then on the right, it's 2 subtract 4x. Remember that balance. What you do to one side, you do to the other. Now I'm going to call this equation 3. Now you cannot substitute equation 3 back into equation 2 because they're basically the same equation. I'll show you what happens if you do that. So if you decided to substitute equation 3 in equation 2, write down equation 2, you would get 4x plus y is equal to 2. And then what are you substituting? You're substituting for y, so you would get 4x plus 2 minus 4x is equal to 2. Add your like terms. 4x minus 4x is 0. So I'll just get 2 equal to 2. And that's not helpful at all. My x has disappeared and I can't work out how to solve for x and y. So remember that. So what I am going to have to do is I'm going to have to substitute 3 into 1. Write down equation 1, 3x minus 2y is equal to 7. Then check what you are substituting. You're substituting this 2 minus 4x for y. Why can you do that? Because y is equal to 2 minus 4x. On the left, I have 3x minus 2, and then I do the substitution. 2 minus 4x is equal to 7. 3x, use the distributive property, minus 4 plus 8x is equal to 7. Add your like terms. 3x plus 8x is 11x, minus 4 is equal to 7. To isolate my x term, I'm going to add 4 to both sides, and so I have 11x minus 4 plus 4 is 0 is equal to 7 plus 4 is 11. Divide both sides by 11, and I get the answer x is equal to 1. So now I have found x, and I still need to find y. So I can substitute in equation 3, where y is already the subject of the formula. So I'm going to substitute It would also work if you substituted it in any of the other equations. So it's y is equal to 2 minus 4x. What am I substituting? X is equal to 1. I'm substituting 1 in the place of x. I have y is equal to 2 minus 4 times by 1. So y is equal to 2 minus 4, which is negative 2. Number 8 is similar to number 7, and we use the same strategy. There's equation 1, there is equation 2. I don't have x or y as the subject of the formula, but I can see that I can make y the subject of the formula in equation 2 very easily. So I tell everybody I'm working from equation 2. Write down 2. 3x plus y is equal to 17. I want y as the subject of the formula, so I must subtract 3x from both sides. 3x minus 3x is 0, so I get y is equal to 17 minus 3x on that side. And I'm going to call this equation 3. It is really the same as equation 2, but it just helps to make things clearer. So I'm going to substitute equation 3 into equation 1. Remember, we talked about not being able to substitute it back into equation 2. So equation 1 is 4x minus 3y is equal to 1. What is the substitution I'm doing? Y is 17 minus 3x, and I'm going to put that in the place of the y here. So it's 4x minus 3, 17 minus 3x is equal to 1. 4x, and now distribute. Negative 3 times 17 is negative 51, and negative 3 times by negative 3 is plus 9x is equal to 1. Add your like terms. 4x and 9x is 13x minus 51 is equal to 1. I need to isolate that 13x, and so I'm going to add 51 to both sides. 13x minus 51 plus 51 is 0 is equal to 1 plus 51, which is 52. Divide by 13 on both sides. 13 divided by 13 is 1. X is equal to 52 divided by 13 is 4. Now I'm going to substitute back into 3 just because it's easier. What is equation 3? Y is equal to 17 minus 3x. What substitution am I doing? x is equal to 4, and so I'm going to put 4 in the place of x. Y is equal to 17 minus 3 times by 4 in the place of x. Y is equal to 17 minus 12, so y is equal to 5. In number 9, there's equation 1 and that is equation 2. And it looks like I'm going to have to work with equation 1, or it's going to be easier to get x as the subject of the formula. So from equation 1, x minus 2y plus 4 is equal to 0. I want x by itself. It must be the subject of the formula. The first thing I'm going to do is subtract 4 from both sides. That will give me x minus 2y plus 4 minus 4 is 0 is equal to 0 minus 4, negative 4. I still don't have x by itself, so I'm going to add 2y to both sides. I'm going to eliminate the negative 2y from the left-hand side. And so it is x minus 2y plus 2y 0 is equal to minus 4 plus 2y. And that I'm calling equation 3. Now I'm going to substitute into my remaining equation, which is equation 2. What am I going to substitute? X is negative 4 plus 2y, and so I'm going to put that in the place of x here. Let's write that equation down first. It's 5x, and that's where I'm going to do my substitution. Minus 6y plus 18 is equal to 0. 5x, and x is negative 4 plus 2y, minus 6y plus 18 is equal to 0. I must use the distributive property to get rid of the bracket. So 5 times by negative 4 is minus 20, and 5 times by 2y is plus 10y, minus 6y plus 18 is equal to 0. Adding my like terms, minus 20 plus 18 is negative 2, and 10y minus 6y is plus 4y is equal to 0. I need to isolate my y term, this one here. So to get rid of that, I must add 2 to both sides. I have minus 2 plus 2 is 0, so I've got 4y is equal to 0 plus 2, which is 2. Divide by 4 on both sides. 4 divided by 4 is 1y. And on the right-hand side, 4 doesn't go into 2 as a round number, so I'm going to simplify that fraction. 2 goes into there once and into there twice, so I get y is equal to a half. And then I'm going to substitute back into equation 3 to find out what x is. Equation 3 tells me that x is equal to negative 4 plus 2y. What substitution am I making? I know that y is a half, so I'm going to substitute it there. I have x is equal to negative 4 plus 2 times by half. So x is negative 4 plus 1, x is negative 3. And the last one, equation 10, number 10. That's equation 1, there's equation 2. I want to isolate this x in equation 1. So I'm working from equation 1. X minus 3y plus 5 is equal to 0. So I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides to get rid of the 5 on this side while I'm trying to isolate x and make it the subject of the formula. So the left side is x minus 3y, and then plus 5 minus 5 is 0, so it's equal to 0 minus 5, like that. Then I must add 3y to both sides. X minus 3y plus 3y is 0, so I just have x is equal to minus 5 plus 3y. So now I've made x the subject of my formula. I'm going to call that equation 3, and then substitute equation 3 into equation 2. Okay, equation 2 is 3 times x plus 2y plus 4 is equal to 0. What substitution am I doing? Well, I'm replacing x with negative 5 plus 3y, so that's that x over there. It's 3 times by x plus 2y plus 4 is equal to 0. Remove the brackets, minus 15 plus 9y plus 2y plus 4 is equal to 0. Add the like terms on the left-hand side. Negative 15 plus 4 is negative 11, and 9y plus 2y is 11y is equal to 0. Add 11 to both sides to isolate the y term. So it is minus 11 plus 11 gives me 0, and I'm left with 11y is equal to 0 plus 11 is 11. Divide by 11, all these 11s, and I get y is equal to 1. Then I'm going to substitute in 3. Is x minus x is equal to negative 5 plus 3y. Just what am I going to substitute? Well, over here I know that y is equal to 1, so I'm putting 1 in the place of y. X is equal to minus 5 plus 3 times by 1. X is equal to minus 5 plus 3. And so x is equal to negative 2. And that's it.